Time management hacks for parents. Hack number 1, hide. That's what I'm doing. I was just like laughing when I read that this is actually a frequent comment that shows up on my videos, because so many time management videos that I have made were pre-parenting. And now the day has come where everyone's very excited. Hey, what's Amy got to say about managing your time as a parent when you are dealing with the dynamics of taking care of your kid and also getting work done and getting things done and making sure you survive? And oh my God, are we surviving? I don't know. A lot of things that I have talked about in the past when it comes to managing your time really work across the board. Whether you're a parent, whether you're not a parent, whether you're a college student, whether you're I don't, anybody, literally anybody. But it only works when you believe in it. And when you believe in something, you give it so much focus. Everything really just is fueled by that. When you do not have focus, it's not gonna work. When you do not have focus on whether or not a tactic's going to work for you, it's not gonna work. If you do not have focus on the task, it's not gonna get fully done or done to the best of your ability. But what I would add is probably one of the biggest challenges that I've had in my life, and now I have literally been given the challenge of getting better at it, whether I wanted to or not. So whether it's like your time batching, which actually, really interestingly, I just did a video with Morning Brew. If you haven't heard of Morning Brew, they have a killer newsletter telling you all of the wonderful things that are going on in the world, but in a way that's actually kind of fun. And they wanted me to challenge their team on how to be a bit more productive with some ideas that I have. And one of the things that went over really well was time batching. Just the concept of blocking time on your calendar for like tasks. An example, currently in this moment in time, I am borrowing, I'm not joking, I'm borrowing someone's home office and passing it off as mine. And as I sit here, I'm doing a few filming things I gotta get done because I'm going to batch like tasks. I'm gonna have my makeup on and I'm gonna use it up to the best of my ability. I've been fully caffeinated, camera's going. So we're gonna do as much as we can in this moment. Time batching like tasks went over really well with that group.
Some batching today, so me and the roommates actually batched all of our chores and cleaned the entire apartment. The entire apartment is spick and span, clear as new.
Something else that I did today was put working blocks on my calendar. It's one thing to have like my meeting blocks, but it's another to put actual working blocks on my calendar. So I'm proud of myself. I'm making this work.
And it's because you can get a lot more done when you're doing a lot of the same thing back to back because you're in a flow. So time batching, that's just one example. Calendar blocking, that's one example. You know, using a focus timer, listening to brain stimulating music or sounds that helps you focus. There are so many different things that you can do, but they're so much more successful when you ask for help. Ugh. Don't want to. I don't want to, okay? Asking for help has been one of the most challenging things for me throughout my life in so many ways. I don't know what it is. I feel like it has a lot to do with maybe like childhood and school and friendships and things like that. I just don't want to put anybody out. And I really feel like if I'm capable of doing something, I don't need to ask someone to help me with it. I'm going to do it to the best of my ability and then see where we go from there. And I realize that that is not all asking help really is. And as much as I have talked about everybody getting better at asking for help on this channel, I've always been coaching myself on that at the exact same time. It's not just about the fact that you can prove you're capable of doing something. You can also prove to yourself that you're capable of doing something, but you're capable of asking somebody to help you with it as well. So you do not get yourself into the type A stress ball of a human being that I happen to be. So asking for help has always been really challenging for me because again, I don't want to put people out. I'm fully capable, I'm fully independent, I'm fully resourceful. Love that for me, love that. But then a human that I pushed out of my body came to this earth. Silly Amy. She thought, I'm just adding more humans to the earth. I can still do all the things that I say I can do. turns out, yes, I can, but only if I'm a robot. Sad times, man. I'm still human. I'm still just mere mortal. Exhausting. And when I go back and I look at so many comments from this community, so many conversations I've had with clients, so many times in my life where this dynamic of being a parent doesn't always compute. When someone's saying, yeah, but how do you get things done when you have to deal with somebody else's life and taking care of them and all these different dynamics and all these different things? Your time batching thing doesn't work for me. I didn't plan enough time accordingly. I ran out of time. There's not enough time in the world. There's always so many stories around it, and I'm starting to understand why they are not just stories we tell ourselves, but they're stories that are kind of true. And it's because if we do not incorporate the help of others, it is increasingly harder to follow any of that advice. Mostly because you really cannot focus in general when there's another human involved. Now, the advice that you can't have a morning routine with kids, I still don't necessarily believe, because I think you can incorporate them into the process and your morning routine just evolves with you. My morning routine has evolved. I still do a lot of the same things, but I've got a kid next to me while I'm doing them, and she's entertaining herself in another way. And she's 6 months old now. So there are some things she can do to entertain herself now that she's awake more parts of the day than she used to be. But there are still things that are very important to me that I still stick to, and because of that focus and because of that need, I can make that happen. But if I need to do something like work or an appointment or a phone call or shooting a video, and I really need a kid not to be pulling on my hair and messing up my face and my makeup, I need to just be alone for this, I've got to incorporate help. And so I look back at all those comments and I look back at all of those struggles, and I feel like the missing component for absolutely everyone, especially for parents when it comes to time management and hacking our way to success, is asking for what you need when you need it, even if you don't even need it. Like, you don't need somebody to do something for you, but it would be nice if they did, because it would take that monkey off your back. I think I'm just finally realizing the pinnacle of what it means to be superwoman, like many women that are ambitious feel like they need to be. And that is taking care of their kids and doing all the things and working and showing their kids that they can accomplish so much if they try hard and work hard like mom. And yet we still are so strong to a fault. So I know this was kind of like time management tips for parents, but I am 6 months in, guys. So I have absolutely zero intention of telling you how to hack your time as a parent. But this is what I have learned so far. What I've also learned is when I batched only 3 hours this afternoon to get the core of my work done, which is literally all I could do today. It's just all I could do. Not because I don't have more to do, not because I don't need more time. And I know a lot of people need 8 hours, they need 10 hours, and they need to figure out their lives accordingly. I just needed 3 today, which felt like an insane feat. And by taking that 3 hours, I was able to get a lot more done in that space and time because it was batched with only certain types of tasks, and I have to do it. It's got to happen because otherwise it doesn't happen. And when I leave here and then I walk in the door where my kid is, where my husband is, where my family is, and you know that feeling when you walk in the door. You walk in the door and everyone's like, let me tell you everything. Can I take my shoes off just one moment, please? And it's nothing against them. It's just that dynamic has now changed. And the whole gotta be on for everyone else switch has flipped again. Woo, that switch is getting flipped all of the time for me. I have so many other personal reasons why there's just stuff going on. I'm currently in Columbus. I live in Palm Beach, Florida, and we've been kind of going back and forth between Columbus and Connecticut, just visiting family. And it's such a great time to be doing that because Bianca's growing up so much right now. It is, you know how they say you'll know when it's your kid? You know when it's your kid. Like, to think about how different she is between 3 months ago and now is just mind-boggling, where I could never really compute that about someone else's kid. Because you see it every time she wakes up from a nap, every time there's something going on. It's like, what you just grew up again. Again! Like, what? It's crazy. So it's really fun to be around family while they're seeing that all happen, because I feel like I'm making it more real for them. So, we're dealing with that. I'm not in my home office. I'm not in my perfect little environment where I can do my routines accordingly. Bianca doesn't even really know where home is. She's too young. We keep moving her around and doing all this travel and stuff, which again, I think is great, but also on the routine side of things tends to be challenging. So you throw all of this into it. This is what I have learned in terms of getting things done. I'm still running a business. I'm still trying to keep things going. I'm keeping the lights on. I'm making sure videos get done. I'm doing all these projects. We're working with clients. I've got people in my inner circle. We're coaching. There's so much going on, and you still have to keep that going. But I also got a 6-month-old on my arm. So when I say this is what I have learned, I am learning it so hard right now, and I'm only going to continue to do that. And I would never sit here and try to say that it's going to work for every single person, and I have never said that it works for every single person, no matter what my advice has been in the last, whatever. Although I do feel like I probably kicked off the episode saying that my tips do work for pretty much everyone. I don't, anybody, literally anybody, but they only work for anyone at all, if it fits the mold of your life or not, if you believe wholeheartedly at giving it a good try and focusing on it. And that's all I know. That's what I know. And I literally can't do it alone. And never, ever, ever in my life have I encountered something that I need to do, that I want to do, that brings me a lot of identity and self-love and importance and drive and passion and ambition for me without needing help. Like, it just blows my mind. I literally can't do what I love right now without asking for help. I think everyone just encounters that moment at a different time, depending on how you have a relationship with asking for help. I think we encounter that struggle at different times for different people. I have just so happened to have encountered that very large moment, and I'm pretty sure the universe is saying, Ladybug, you should have learned this a long time ago, so now we're cramming it down your throat, okay? And her name is Bianca. Bianca is teaching you, you need to ask for help. So there is no hack. It's hard. You have to communicate with people. It's hard, but you know what? It just sucks. That is the answer to everything. The answer to everything is good communication. Like, really rock solid, effective communication. Not, I need to put you in your place communication. Not, I'm gonna tell you what I need and I don't care what you need. So the type of communication that is, I see you, I see what you need. I also see myself, I see what I need. I see what this child needs. I see what my family needs. I see what everybody needs. I need what I need. How can we make this work to everyone's best ability? But I am asking for help, and I am going to say that I cannot solve everyone's problems at the exact same time. I'm not going to try to say that. I'm not going to try to say I have that capability, because it turns out Superwoman is a fictional character. I would love to hear from absolutely anyone on this in the comments section. Whether you're a parent, whether you're not, I don't care. I think we all deal with this in some way, and we have different details of our lives that make us go, but I can't, but I can't, but I can't. It's too hard. This tip doesn't work for me. I'm not saying that's not true, but I would love to hear where you feel like the deeper issue behind that is coming from. In a casual little comment below. All right. I have to check my email now and make sure everything's okay. And I am going to feed my kid a banana for the first time. Thanks so much to my little brother for letting me use this gorgeous home office. And no, this is not his decor. I made it work. That's all for today. Thank you so much for tuning in. I appreciate it. As always, remember, subscribe for good vibes, kiss the ones you love, and go after the life you want. Cheers. This is actually really fun because I always kiss my brother. And there's actually pictures of my brother all over this room, so that makes it way more fun. Yep. I used to have an office like this.